Right here. Gotta get it right, gotta get it clear. Yo, you mean yo that just got a new mic. Little mic. Like Bow Wow, little mic. Uh Give me a thumbs up if y'all can hear me. Because we definitely got some things to talk about clearly. Give me a thumbs up. Give me a thumbs up. Want to make sure everything right. All right. So. Make sure y'all go cop up. Fully Fresh. This live is sponsored by Print Champs. They are the guys that give y'all one of the best, if not the best, just merchandise anywhere. Shout out to Print Champs. I will put the link in the description after the video. But enough of that. Enough of me. Let's talk about the Kellen Moore and Vic Fangio situation. We're going to talk about Kellen Moore first because that is just dropped really last night, but it been confirmed this morning. I put up a post and I asked who would you guys want? Cliff Kingsbury or Kellen Moore? A lot of people commented and said neither one. But now we here. Now we are here, and Kellen Moore is the guy. And this is what I'm gonna say about Kellen Moore. First of all, Dallas fans, Dallas content creators, I see y'all on YouTube. I see y'all on Twitter. I do. And the fact of the matter is for y'all to act like this is so funny that we got him and now we got y'all and yada, 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 and all that kind of stuff. Well, let's think about it. Dak Prescott has not won a playoff game since Kellen Moore has left. That's number one. Number two, everything was being blamed on Kellen Moore. Kellen Moore this, Kellen Moore that. And this is coming from the concert creators who don't keep it real over there in Dallas. They don't keep it real. It's Kellen Moore this, Kellen Moore that. But yet and still, that he looked good at home and all that kind of stuff. But the bottom line is when the chips is on the table and everything fall or you got a ball, he falls. So to me, make sure y'all hit the like button for your boy too. So to me, you can't blame Kellen Moore for that. And enough with Dallas. I do know for a fact that the Philadelphia Eagles wanted to bring Kellen Moore in probably as a head coach when Doug Peterson departed from the Philadelphia Eagles. So this definitely is a Howie Roseman. I don't think this has nothing to do with Nick Sirianni. And and this is the first situation to where as though I think Nick is definitely standing on what he said. He's going to fall back. He's going to be the head coach. He's going to take care of everything that need to be taken care of on his at his position, but he's going to lead the offense and defense. First of all, you got two veterans, so that's good. Vic Fangio and Kellen Moore. So that's definitely good. You definitely needed two guys who has experience. I'm gonna say this. There is some cause to pause for a little bit on running the football. But what I am going to say is when Kellen Moore was over there with Dallas or wherever he was at, the fact of the matter is he never had two wide receivers and a tight end as talented as the Philadelphia Eagles have. When you talk about A.J. Brown, Devontae Smith, and Dallas Goedert, I mean, these three, to me, and you can go search, you can go look, and you can go try to find somebody else. But that trio is the best in the NFL. Even just you want to put the wide receivers at just dumb. Just if you want to put A.J. Brown and Devontae Smith, just those two. What is a better duo than that in the NFL? People say Tyreek Hill and Waddle. We didn't really see that last year. I mean, both of these guys had 1,000 yards the last two seasons. Both of these guys are being dominant. Yes, you got the situation with A.J. Brown and to me, he's frustrated because I don't think it was frustrated on I'm not getting the ball. Now, the beginning of the season it was, but at the end of the season, I don't think it's that. He's looking at his offense and he's like, are you freaking kidding me? Are you freaking kidding me? When you're looking at Brian Johnson and Nick Sirianni, because he kept saying this was his offense. So we got to give him blame also. But when you look at the fact of these two guys couldn't get the job done when you got so much talent, I think this is an upgrade no matter what the situation is. Because the offense was still, I posted and I also showed y'all so many videos and so many times the middle of the field is wide open, but they choose not to use it. Get they couldn't get the ball out of Jalen Hurts' hands. Because this is coaching to me. Now, Jalen Hurts took a dip. We're going to talk about that. But this is coaching to me. You couldn't get the ball and you couldn't scheme to get the ball out of Jalen Hurts' hands when it was time for the blitz to come to him. The best way to get rid of the football when blitzes is coming is running the football or running intermediate routes. When I say intermediate routes, that means slants. That means running back screens. And that's another thing that I am so disappointed with this coaching staff is that the fact of DeAndre Swift. And I'm not saying this because I made the shirt and all that, but to me, he wasn't utilized properly. He was a guy at the Lions that caught like 37, 40 footballs out the backfield. And we didn't use him to the such. You want to bring in Kenneth Gainwell on pass situations. And I do kind of understand that because Kenneth Gainwell is a good pass blocker. I'm not even going to act like he's not. He's better than Swift at that. But at the same time, you don't need pass blocking if you get him the ball fast and in great situations. But no, you want to run these all the way across the field situations where it's wide receivers doing screens and it gives the defense time. Yes, the ball gets to the player faster than the player can get to the ball, but at the same time, it gives them time to rally because of how long the screens are. How about you do some short screens and you let this immaculate offensive line work? And I seen Lane Johnson, he definitely was frustrated. And he was saying, like, I think sometimes that when the game gets a little out of hand, that we just start pass and getting pass happy. And I said the same damn thing. So when you come into a situation to where as though one of your second best offensive lineman, the best right tackle in the game, in my opinion, even though he took a little dip too, but a lot of that was scheme. You got a situation to where as though he's coming up and he like, yo, nah, we need to run the damn ball. So here's what I'm gonna say about Kellen Moore and not running the ball enough. I think that a guy in Jeff Stoutland needs to. I don't know what the position could be. I know he's a offensive of lineman coach and the defensive coordinator to the coordination of the coordinator, whatever names. But I think he needs to have more imprint in Kellen Moore's scheme. I do. Now, the quarterback coach is definitely going to be a big one. And I'm hearing that the guy, I can't remember his name. Somebody comment below or comment right here. Y'all good at this. But right now, offhand, I can't remember. But it is a guy with Kellen Moore who followed him to Dallas. And I think that he also followed him to the Chargers. So I guess that'd be good to have a guy that is familiar with the situation or whatever the case may be, and somebody that's not going to be, because we got to understand that Brian Johnson definitely knew Jalen Hurts all his life, and maybe he was a little passive. I don't know. I'm just saying, speaking on what I see. Maybe he was a little passive on things and not actually getting at him. I think Jalen Hurts is the quarterback that's like, yo, tell me what I need to do. Tell me what's going on. Tell me what's wrong. Tell me what I'm doing wrong, and I'm going to fix it. I think that's one of the best people in the world. The people that are not subjective to opinions or subjective to the outside looking in, because you don't know exactly what's going on with yourself until somebody directs it to you. And you're like, damn, I didn't even see that, because you're doing it, you're living it. And you also are subjective to saying that, you know what, nah, maybe I'm doing this right, or maybe not. So I think that hopefully that can work. I also do think, and I'm not a suspicious person, I'm really not, but it is very, very funny, right? You got this Charger situation. I don't know what's going on with it, but when you look at it, when you bring what's my man name, Frank Wright, over the Chargers, from the Chargers, bring him in the OC. What do? We go to the Super Bowl. You bring in Shane Steichen from the Chargers. What do? We go to the Super Bowl. You just bring in Kellen Moore. Just bring in Kellen Moore. So I'm not saying that that's going to happen, but it is. I mean, you got to look at it like, damn, like, you know, maybe 3 times the charm, we can go to the Super Bowl and win it again. Let's get to the defense and how I feel about Vic Fangio. Okay. Here's the thing about Vic Fangio. I do understand that we have hired coaches that did his scheme, Sean Desai and even Jonathan Gannon. But to me, if you're going to get the guy, that actually invented the scheme, that perfected the scheme, and that's the scheme that you want, why not get the guy that did it? Why not get the guy that invented it? And I said this in a video. It will be the best if you can go to Steve Jobs, and go get your iPhone or your MacBook or all that kind of stuff fixed. To me, it's the same thing. Let me get to the chat real fast. I got Ryan in here. Yo, that what's going on? John Carter, amen, brother. You right. I don't know what I'm right about, but I'm right a lot. I'm also wrong sometimes. So, Jason 18, Deaf Truth. Appreciate all of y'all for commenting. I really do. All right, so Vic Fangio, to me, I do think he's going to be a good situation. And when I say good situation, because once again, I brought up the fact that Nick Sirianni, he's taken basically a back seat. He's back there somewhere. And he gonna buckle up his seatbelt, and he gonna see what the heck going on. You can't be a backseat driver, and it seemed like that he's not going to take that role. Vic Fangio is a veteran. He's been on 10 different teams. He has had multiple top 10 defenses, and a lot of people respect him in the game. And he's a Philly fan. So I think he's going to give it his all. I understand he definitely almost as old as Bill Belichick. I didn't even know he was that old. I think he's like 65, 66, something like that. But to me, I understand the situation, or I don't understand, but I do get what happened over there with Miami and the DBs. They was happy that he was gone, and they're speaking out about him, whatever the situation might be. But we also got to understand that a lot of DBs are divas, so maybe he was actually getting on them about things, and they wasn't receptive to how he was basically telling them what need to happen, because he old school. So once again, just like I said at the offensive coordinator position, maybe you need some guys and linebacker coaches, the defensive backs coaches, whatever the case may be. Maybe you need some other guys to be receptive and give his message on how things are done. Now, I did look at I think it was Barrett Brooks. He interviewed one of the guys that he played, that Vic Fangio coach for the 49ers. I can't remember his name, but he was a safety. And he said that these guys, I mean, this guy puts you in the right situation. And not only that, he tells you why he's putting you in the right situation. And I think that's really where we failed in the Sean Desai slash Matt Patricia scheme. When you look at it, God, it was so many guys wide open. Guys didn't know where they was going. Guys didn't know where they was supposed to be at what time. Guys was even running into each other. In a Tampa Bay game, in a playoff game, one of the most embarrassing things I ever seen in my life was two guys running into each other, and then it's a touchdown. You know how embarrassing that is as a DC? You know how embarrassing that is as a Philadelphia Eagle fan? You know how embarrassing that is as a Philadelphia Eagle defense? For two guys to run into each other, and I don't think it's because of them. I think it was because of the scheme. Gotta have better schemes, and I think that both of these coaches are going to bring something to light with this. I really, really do. Want to go back on the Kellen Moore situation, right? Kellen Moore is coaching his best quarterback, in my opinion. I understand he had Justin Herbert last year, but Justin Herbert got hurt, and he definitely took a dip. He had Dak Prescott, but I don't think Dak Prescott can hold or bring Jalen Hurts water. That's my opinion. I think that Jalen Hurts is a way better quarterback. I'm not just saying that because he's a Dallas Cowboy and Jalen Hurts is a Philadelphia Eagle. I look at what I look at and I see what I see. And to me, Jalen Hurts is going to he got some situations to where though he's going to have to get back on that level that he was last year, but I think that he can do it. If I got confidence in anybody on this team to make sure that they're going to get back to the level that they was at last year, it's Jalen Hurts. And also I got to put AJ Brown in there. I got to put Lane Johnson in there. It's a lot of guys that I think can, but I got to put Jalen Hurts at the top of the list. I do think that Jalen Hurts he's a product of just evaluating and also elevating. He's a product of that. So to me, that's going to be the cornerstone of this whole situation with hiring Kellen Moore, is that your quarterback is going to be receptacle of what you say. He's going to listen. And not only that, to me, we're finally going to have some motion, and we're going to have some deception and all that. And when you counter that, not counter that, but when you combine that with the fact that you got the best, in my opinion, the best wide receiver core in the NFL, it's going to be nightmares. It's going to be problems for the NFL. And that's something that Brian Johnson and Nick Sirianni couldn't figure out like this year. They couldn't figure it out. They couldn't figure out the fact of, damn, how do we get these guys in the one-on-one positions, in the one-on-one situations to where though we can take advantage? How do we get these guys thinking? Because if you look across the NFL, you see on highlights so many people wide open. But then you turn on our highlights, everything is contested. Now understand that Tyreek Hill, he got immaculate speed. I get that, understand it, but they still made schemes for him to get open. You see him in the backfield. You see him in the slot. You see him on the outside. You see this, you see that. It's been multiple times that multiple defensive players have said, we know what they're going to run by the way that they line up. Before the snap, it don't even matter what Jalen Hurts taps into or what he changes it to. We know what's going on because of the way that they line up. It's been multiple times, multiple defensive players have said that, and that's a problem. It's no deception. It was no deception like this past year, and it was no scheme. The scheme was, our players are better than yours. We're going to figure out a way to get on the ball. We don't care if it's contested. We don't care if they're double coverage, yada, yada, yada. And that worked for a good 7 weeks. It worked for a good 7 weeks. Our players are better than yours. AJ Brown, we're on a crazy tear, and we definitely respect that. But at the same time, it's like, yo, You don't think the league, people on the other teams get paid too. The defensive coordinators, the defensive players, all of them, they get paid too. So they also understand, oh, this is what y'all doing? Let's stop that. You didn't never have a counter for that. You cannot be a boxer and not have a counterpunch. Because if you don't, you're going to get your behind knocked out. And that's exactly what happened to the Philadelphia Eagles. But I am, and I'm not gonna lie, I probably would have wanted a Kingsbury a little bit more. I do think that he's a little bit more inventive on his scheme. But the fact of the matter is, I do think Kellen Moore didn't have the talent ever that he has now. Now, I understand he had Keelan Allen. I understand he had what's the other guy, Michael Town. He had some guys over there, but these guys over here, it's different. It's different. You got speed, and we're definitely. I'm sorry. Well, we definitely gonna have to get another wide receiver. Quez Watkins. I love OZ. Julio Jones. I would definitely bring Julio Jones back and have him as a depth piece. I would. But I don't know about OZ. I like OZ, and maybe it was the scheme. Maybe he wasn't getting what he was supposed to be getting because he wasn't used properly. If that makes sense. But I'm gonna say this: the fact of the matter is, I've seen many times, and once again, it could be the scheme. I've seen many times Jalen Hurts has dropped back and nobody could get the hell open because they're going to double AJ Brown when AJ Brown was having his situation, and sometimes triple him, and then they're doubling Devontae Smith, and then nobody else can get open. And to me, I think that the offense took a crazy dip when Dallas Goedert went out. When you see the dip that we took, and even when he came back, it didn't really change. But still, the dip that we took when he went out was crazy. It was crazy. But we all know that he's a talent. We all know that this guy is definitely a beast. And I gotta shout out Devontae Smith real fast while we on a wide receiver situation. I mean, he was the only guy that was balling. He was catching everything that was thrown to him. He was doing everything that we needed him to do in the Tampa Bay game. He definitely won, lose, or draw, and we definitely lost. But I'm saying he definitely should have got the game ball. He definitely should have got the game ball, even in a loss. He did what needed to be done. You had AJ Brown out, and he just showed up and showed that he is a number one. I know the games is about to start, so I know everybody about to tune into that. I just want to get my picks real fast. I think that the Baltimore Ravens will beat Kansas City. I understand Kansas City defense is definitely playing at a high level. They really are. They have turned it on, and that's something that we hope over here, but it didn't happen. But they definitely turned it on. The offense just to me ain't enough. I think that at home, I think that the Baltimore Ravens, Lamar Jackson is just going to not go off, but he's going to do enough to get the win. Even in the win against the Bills, it took, a missed field goal. And I don't know if the Bills is cursed. I don't know. I don't believe in all that, but whatever. On the NFC situation. And I'm not hating once again, because I know it's people that's going to watch this that are 49er fans and say that I'm hating and all this and all that. I understand that Debo's coming back, so that definitely almost changed my pick. But I still got to go with the Lions. I don't know what it is. I just got some type of feeling that the Lions are on a journey to be successful. I'm not saying they're going to win it all, but I'm saying that they're going to win a day. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. All right, let's get back to the Philadelphia Eagles because I know that the game is about to start. To me, I like both of these hires. I'm not jumping over the table for neither one of them, but to me, it's just I got to see. But I do like the Kellen Moore situation a little bit more than a Vic Fangio. The only reason is because Vic Fangio can't keep a job. And I think it's reasons for that. I do. I think it's reasons why Vic Fangio can't keep a job or get a head coaching job. And maybe it's because he don't want to, but at the same time, I do think that him coming to Philly, I know he's an Eagles fan. His family is out here. I really, really do think that he's going to change things. And the reason that I'm not jumping over the table and being mad about the situation, because almost anything would be better than we just seen this year. We were predicted to go to the Super Bowl. I predicted us to go to the Super Bowl. It was an epic collapse. It was. It was an epic collapse. But at the same time, I do think that things can change. I do think that Sean Desai definitely didn't get his just due. And maybe you wanted to see what he would do in the playoffs and yada, yada, yada. The defense definitely got worse with Matt Patricia. I'm glad both of them gone at the same time. Now, I don't want people to not, I don't want people to lose their job. That's not what I'm here for. But at the same time, you don't got to work here. You ain't got to go home, but you got to get the hell up out of here. So that's really all I got. Comment below if you agree with me, or if you don't, whatever the situation is. Make sure y'all tap in Philly Fresh. We got the print champs. Shout out to them. Got all the merch you need. Hats, hoodies, shirts, all that. But y'all already know, man. Stay Philly, stay fresh, y'all. Yo, that.